Hey, it's Gabby, and welcome to Career Day. I'm here with Karen from the Great Frederick Fair. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great to be here. Great to have you. So we are participating in this virtual Career Day in hopes of pretty much getting like a perspective inside of what makes behind the scenes of the Great Frederick Fair and how, you're the head honcho over there, right?
Yes.
So how did you get there? How did you get to that point?
So I've grown up going to the fair my whole life. Grew up on a dairy farm in Thurmont, and agriculture has always been my passion. So I started interning for the fair in 2012 when we celebrated 150 years. And then I went on full-time in 2013, and I just progressed through different positions and ended up as the general manager through.
So what was your favorite position?
The general manager. Duh. Because I get to be part of everything.
That's cool. So what would you say is the hardest part of working behind the scenes at the fair?
I think the most challenging is anytime you plan an event, it's just a lot more to it than meets the eye. We begin planning a year ahead of time for each fair, sometimes 2 years out.
Wow.
For booking entertainment and getting all the just details and things worked out. There's so many vendors and community partners that we work with. It's a lot of coordination and a lot of, the little pieces that you have to put together to make the large puzzle work for Fair Week.
I think that's the perfect way to put it. You've got the carnival, you have the food vendors and the retail vendors and the music entertainment and all of the derbies. My first derby 3 years ago ever. Blew my mind.
It's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. So what would you say is the most rewarding? What's the coolest part of your job?
I could talk all day about how awesome my job is. One of my favorite parts is all the people that we get to work with. So we actually, with WFRE, we partner with awesome people there. And just all of our community partners and sponsors, to me, it's so awesome that the fair means so much to so many people in our community. The livestock exhibitors, the agricultural community, but then also just the fellowship and the community that comes together to enjoy everything that's there.
So much tradition in the Great Frederick Fair, and I noticed that as soon as I moved here. About 3 years ago. It was my first event actually with WFRE, and what I noticed was how important 4-H is during the Great Frederick Fair and all the animals. And do you ever go and cuddle with a cow? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess one of my favorite things is our birthing center, because there's always baby animals that you can go and speak to the superintendent there, and he can explain all the ins and outs of the animal production stuff, but also just fun to cuddle with the cute animals too.
Yeah, that was my favorite part, just walking around, because I'm from the city, so I'm like, oh my god, they have cows here?
Yeah. And the 4-H and FFA program is awesome. Both really great programs in the state, and definitely our county is strong, and it's nice to be able to have that community gathering and the ability for the kids to show off what they grow and what they make and the animals they raise every year and showcase it to the community.
Yeah, huge, big effort. Do you ever ride the rides late night?
I love the rides. Not that I ride them when it's off hours, so to speak, but I do love all the rides, and I like to take a Ferris wheel ride, because when you're up at the top, you can see everything you work for and everything you go into planning. From up at the top of the Ferris wheel, you can see all parts of it at one time, and then look to the right and see the cityscape, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like an orchestra. You're over here and over here and over here, and you put it all together. Obviously, it's a big team effort, but you're the head person, so that's really cool. So if anybody was interested in getting involved with the fair or doing any events planning like you do, what do you think? What piece of advice do you have for them?
Always to have an open mind and to communicate. I think communication is the key when you're working with a team as large as we work with. That's our small full-time staff, our board of directors, sponsors, vendors, community, everybody that we work with as far as vendors. But I would also say that there's always something to learn, and you can always make your event better. So to be open-minded with suggestions and other opportunities that arise as times change with the world, and we move forward with different technology and different aspects to offer to the public.
Very cool. So do you think, getting your foot in the door at any position is pretty much the best way to go? Like you said, you started with an internship?
Yeah, definitely. I interned and volunteered my first year, and then got to know all the people. I actually had been interning with the fair, not interning, but serving on a committee of ag education for 5 years prior to ever interning. So I was involved that way. Just reach out and express that you're interested in being a part of our team, and we have a lot of other volunteer positions through Fair Week that people could get involved in as well.
Very cool. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Karen from the Great Frederick Fair for Career Day.